welcome back to the No Format Required podcast. This week we're still in Charlie's Beer Pub, so it's a pubcast again, and this time we're chatting the shed. I completely came up with that on my own, completely original. Charlie didn't help me.
No, not one bit. There's no sort of sap coming through the bar
Charlie's distracted by his wood.
I'm distracted. I'm quite fortunate.
He's got some wood behind the bar,
yeah,
and he's feeling it up and down. Some sap's coming out,
and just looking at Mike and smiling.
All of that is also 100% true.
Yeah,
but it's really not as rude as anyone thinks.
No, I'm rubbing the wood that is actual wood on my bar, and I'm just rubbing it because the sap keeps coming through. Annoyingly, I'm quite fortunate actually. I've just noticed that because I could have put my laptop right in the middle of that.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't want that.
Yeah, sticky laptop.
And the heat would have been just...
Yeah.
Yeah, that before, haven't you? Oh, dear. Where's this episode going?
I don't know. Maybe we should just stop it before we get in more trouble.
Oh, I love it though.
But welcome to, as Mike originally said, Chat the Shed, Part 2.
Well, it's the Pubcast Volume 2, Chat the Shed.
Yeah, Chat the Shed.
That's what it is. I'm going to call that.
Eventually, I think we're aiming to probably... Oh, there's a big cobweb above you there, Mike. I've just noticed that. Hopefully there's not a spider that will come down and bite you.
You need to get Loz in here.
I do. Well,
What's she doing?
She keeps going on and about getting a Henry Hoover for this. But, like, we've got a regular Hoover. Have you got a Henry Hoover?
No.
Do you know what one is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what one is? I'm British. Of course I do.
Some people might not know.
Is it just a British thing? Are we going to have to explain it to our international viewers?
I reckon. I don't know. That's a good question. Well,
I think some of our international viewers come from like the Taskmaster podcast, and they will know what it is because there's a horn section song, Henry Hoover.
Okay.
I can't actually remember the tune now, but yeah, basically he's got a Hoover on his head. Joe comes out singing it. But Henry Hoover is basically a plug-in, like all like cleaners have them, don't they?
Yeah,
they're like a gold standard.
They're like, I see them more as like kind of builders Hoovers.
I see them cheap. But they're good.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You say they're cheap, but I'm looking at them. They're like about 120, 130 quid.
Anyway, we haven't really explained what they are. They're red, and they've got a smiley face on the front. And that's literally Henry Hoover.
Yeah.
And there's Henrietta.
Yeah, which is,
pink version.
One. But, I mean, they are meant to be, like, really good for sort of industrial cleaning. Like, I mean, there's a lot of... Well, I've hoovered a lot of it up, but there's been a lot of sawdust and stuff in there, and apparently that can clog a normal hoover up, but I just... Yeah, and then she wants it to hoover up the fake grass we've got, the artificial grass. Apparently it's got, but I've got I'm borrowing my dad's leaf blower for that. So yeah, just seems she's quite adamant.
Got my leaf blower for that if you want.
Oh yeah, there we go. So, yeah, I'll pass that on to Lauren, but she's adamant she wants one. So
I had to use my leaf blower the other day. Boring story, but that's it.
Were you blowing the leaves?
No, I was sucking.
Sucking them up.
Yeah.
So you never suck them up in the wet because it all mashes up.
Oh, really?
Like a thing. Always make sure that they're dry.
No, we had a massive thunderstorm yesterday here where we are, but I managed to just get mow the lawn and to chainsaw down a lot of the bushes that I've got.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it really hammered it. I was in here actually, and you could.
Oh yeah.
It sounded like them sleeping apps you can get where you can hear.
Oh yeah, the rain
thunderstorms and stuff. Because you could hear it obviously pounding down on here, and then obviously the crack of the thunder outside. But it stood the test of time. Touch wood. Plenty of to go around. No leaks or anything.
I was going to say, touch wood is literally made of wood.
Yeah, everything's wood.
Touch anything, you're fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. So, so the second episode in here, I reckon we're potentially going to be recording here quite a bit, really.
Yeah, so we're not going to call every episode
no.
Pubcast, just maybe just these 2 episodes, the Pubcast.
Yeah.
But we probably will end up recording a lot more in here because it means that our wives can still use the living room.
Yeah, and I've got Wi-Fi down there now, so, I mean, not that we really need Wi-Fi to record, do we? So,
no.
I did actually edit the last week's episode in here.
Oh, did you?
Yesterday, yeah.
Fun fact of the day.
There you go. Now you know, last week.
Behind the scenes, guys.
Yeah.
Charlie sat there with his wood. Editing the episodes.
After Mike had, like to say that the episode goes out on a Monday, Mike had messaged me at, I think he messaged me about 3:30. And then
you didn't respond until like 7 in the evening.
I think it was later than that. I was like, shit, I best edit that episode. That's what I'm going to be doing all week. But yeah, no, I'm hoping the more things I get up on the wall, the less
tinny it will sound.
Yeah.
I don't think it sounds too bad, personally.
No, it was, when we first came in, when there was nothing in it, when it was completely empty, it was very echoey, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot more things now. That beer Moretti.
Yeah, that's an addition.
Was it? Italiana Tentica. or something like that, isn't it? That's their logo, Beer Moretti.
What? It's what? Italiano Authentica?
Authentica, or Authentica, like authentic
okay.
Italian.
Okay.
And then he's got some miniatures and then a pineapple picture.
Yeah, my mum and dad found them at
it's
Antiques Fair. Yeah, they're all
they're like
huge
coasters, but they're bigger, aren't
they're
they?
huge beer mats, effectively.
And then he's got a picture of Stadium with some shit above it, and some shit smeared across the top of the door. No, he's got a Middlesbrough FC scarf. And the TV.
All the Middlesbrough fans that listen will be upset to hear about that. And my TV, which I was a bit worried. I was thinking, could I have gone a bit bigger? But I think if it had gone too big...
Sizes and everything, the shot, Charlie.
Well,
that's what I always get told.
That's what you tell me. I've gone for a 32-inch.
We literally said, where is this episode going? We're still continuing.
I know, it's still a sexual innuendo episode.
Well, since we're on this subject of cocks, I've got a story to tell.
Oh, no.
Right, so I sent Charlie a text like 2 weeks ago saying I've started a list of like amusing anecdotes that have happened just because I've got a shit memory, so things might go out the window. Anything happens. And this one was just too good not to reveal, even though it's a little bit embarrassing. I just sent him a text saying, here's a hint. And what was it? Dick hosepipe.
Yeah.
So basically, I was in my garden, watering the plants very nicely. And I've got one of those expandable hose pipes. So I went out the back, and I've got like veg patch down the back, which we talked about last week.
Yeah.
So I was watering that. I don't know why I'm doing all the actions like watering. Like, you know what watering is, and no one in the podcast will listen to this. So yeah, I was in the back watering the veg, and I was finished. So I sort of like shut down the hose and went to the tap to turn it off. And when you turn it off, you have to get rid of all the water. But I can't remember what happened, but the end of the nozzle came off the hose, so it all came out the other end.
After you turned it off?
Yeah. So I was like, started pulling it because half it was still down the end of the garden, and it was stuck. I could see it was stuck on this like inflatable whale that my son has.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it just needs to flip over the top. So I was pulling and pulling. Didn't realise how much I was pulling. At this point, it was basically as tight as it could be.
Yeah.
And then it released.
Oh, okay.
And
like an elastic band?
Yeah. Like, have you ever seen like the analogy I used for this was like Home Alone, when I'm not sure which one of the Wet Bandits it is, but he sees that paint pot coming towards him on the stairs in like slow motion.
Yeah. And
it's sort of like the camera goes from his side, seeing this can just slowly swinging. That's basically what happened, except it landed like, you know, the massive nozzles you get on the end of hose pipes. Yeah. That's what it was. The weight of that coming right at my cock and hit me right there. And oh my God, I genuinely thought I was going to have to go to A&E. I've never been in so much pain in my life. And the worst thing is, so I had George inside. He was just watching a bit of TV while I was quickly doing that. Because my wife, Lauren, was ill upstairs. She had tonsillitis really bad. And I like came back in. I was like, George tried to like have a conversation. Like, George, just go away. Like, can't be dealing with you right now. Went straight upstairs to obviously check it. I tried to check downstairs, but George kept on trying to open the windows or the curtains, shall I say? So I went upstairs. I was like, Lauren, I think it's black. You're gonna have to check this. It wasn't. I was just checking in the dark. But oh my God, was it painful?
It just like wins you, doesn't it?
So again, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Hitting the balls or being hitting the balls by anything. It's like
that's what it didn't hit my balls. Genuinely, just my penis.
But it was leave a bruise.
No. Somehow, it was like more my groinal area, and that was just there. But oh my God, genuinely painful as fuck.
See, gardening's a dangerous thing.
It is. Don't do it, kids.
That's why we have very minimal effort in our garden. Like I've got a couple of plants, and that's it, and just weeding.
Yeah,
that's everything.
Our weeding, so we need to sort out our driveway because it's just full of weeds. And
ours is the front.
It's embarrassing when everyone else is so pristine.
Yeah, and to be fair, Lauren keeps going on about me because we've got some weed killer from Lauren's dad. It's like industrial strength one from I don't know where he gets it. But it does do the job, but then obviously after you've got to go and pull them all out.
Well, yeah. See, I put some weed killer down the other day, and it's not done anything. They're still alive. But I've got that like scraper tool, so I'm going to go around with that. Yeah. And then I brought some sand.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just use that to fill in the gaps, and hopefully that'll keep a lot of it at bay for a bit.
Jet wash, just jet wash them out.
Actually, I do need to jet wash the patio.
you might as well do it all at the same time. We did it at the back and just jet. There's a couple have come through because of the weather being like really bad, but there's some free advice on weeding for everybody if you needed some. Not really advice, just of what we do.
I'm sorry if you hear the sound of my sucking. I've got like a bit of beef stuck in my...
I thought you were still eating that ice lolly.
No, I've finished the ice lolly now.
Mike has turned up 40 minutes late when we were eating. Then he came down the drive eating an ice cream and didn't even bring me one.
That's actually true. I didn't even bring you one. I should have done that for me. It was a nice Biscoff knockoff from Aldi.
Yeah, I highly recommend them. I prefer them than the Magnum, and they're a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
The only annoying thing with it is you get them in packs of 3.
Yeah, I said this, so we have to buy 2 packs.
Yeah, we always buy
4 packs.
Yeah, or 10 packs.
Yeah. You got to buy an even number.
Yeah, you can't just lose them. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, it's only some sort of cost saving thing, but
the other thing I sometimes do is I get the mini ones because they come in pack of 6, so I can buy 2 of them and there's 12.
Okay. I don't know they do.
Yeah, they do mini ones in 6.
Oh, okay. No, they are really nice. Last time I've been put off Magnums a little bit because I went to the corner shop at the end of my street and I bought a Magnum and it was like
£3.
It was the one. Pardon?
£3 or something.
Yeah, it was expensive for one, but it was like right at the bottom of the freezer. So when I got it back, it was all still frozen, and it just didn't. I think I ended up chucking half it away.
Really, that bad?
Yeah, it just didn't taste right.
Oh man,
put me off them a little bit. It was like it just obviously I know they're meant to be frozen cold, but it was like there was ice around.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's like right at the bottom, like the last one. So.
It'd been what's the word? You know when you get meat that's like frozen.
Yeah,
frost chilled.
Yeah,
something like that.
Frostbite.
Yeah,
ice cream
that's
frostbite. Not the word. But so it wasn't too good. So
she's going to bug me this word, but yeah, text in if you know the word.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't. You know what? Since COVID, I think I've got a bit of brain frog. Brain frog.
I've definitely got brain frog since COVID.
I've there's just sometimes you get there's a word I can't I was talking to someone the other day and I was explaining the lounges you get at the airports where you can pay 30-40 quid and you go to a separate area. But I couldn't think of the word lounge.
Oh really?
I was just trying to explain what it was. It was just so annoying. And then my mate said it and he was like, "Oh yeah, of course, lounge. That's what they're called."
Yeah, I definitely worryingly say that.
You reckon it is from COVID?
I 100% think it was. For me, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I technically had long COVID, didn't I?
Yeah, that's true.
I still have. I still smell smoke every now and again. It smells like I used to think it was when I worked in the lab, someone smoking outside the lab. And slowly I've realised actually I get that smell every now and again. I've Googled it. It's basically due to a change in your brain from COVID.
What about the 40 smoke a day though? That probably don't help.
I am proud to say I've never touched a cigarette in my life.
Never? Not even tried one?
No. I remember there was this festival I went to. I won't say too much. You never know. I 100% doubt they listened to it. But I shouldn't say where it was because that'll give away who it is. We went to this festival and my wife and our 2 mates were outside smoking, outside of this festival area. And one of the people who runs it came, was like, "I'll give us a smoke" to him and started smoking. Her husband doesn't know that she smokes.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know how people can keep it from the partners.
Oh, I know. Lauren, she doesn't hide it in the slightest. My wife, Lauren, doesn't hide it in the slightest. But she's every now and again she'll come home and she'll say to me, "Just so you know, I've had a smoke." Or if she's looking after George, she'll go and have a shower. Yeah. But sometimes she won't tell me just because she doesn't need to tell me. Don't need her to ever tell me. It's up to her what she wants to do. So, but she'll come home and I'll literally give her a cuddle. It's "You've been smoking." Instantly know. So yeah, I'm always confused about how people can hide it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she came out and then her husband started walking towards us. She's like, "Shit." And she gave it to me. It's like, "Can you just pretend this is yours?" And I held it and everyone started laughing. I couldn't understand why. Apparently, the way I held it gave it away. I've never smoked anything in my life.
You're holding it
yeah, exactly. I was holding it by the bit on fire. But yeah.
See, I've tried it a few times when I was younger and then I remember I went on holiday to Venice and I bought some cigars and it was a friend's 18th and I was like, all right, round the back. We were a lot of us were 17 and 18 had this pub. So we went round the back and, pardon me. So I was like, right, I've got these cigars, let's have a go at doing them. So we're sort of lighting them up and passing it round. Anyway, by the time it gets to me, obviously cigars, you kind of sort of inhale it into your mouth. You kind of suck on it.
Yeah, they're done differently to cigarettes.
Yeah, you don't inhale it down. Anyway, by the time it come to me, the end was just soggy. So obviously everyone, I was like, I'm not touching that. But I've got some cute, actually. I was looking through my office drawer upstairs and found a couple of Cubans that I've got in the come in like a plastic.
See, I don't know enough about cigars, but I feel like I'd try them because I don't think they're as addictive. But I might be completely wrong on that, so I probably wouldn't try it just in case. Cause...
See, I've tried cigars and God, yeah, like I get the same. Like I just can't the taste and things of them.
I was going to say the taste and the smell. Like I genuinely hate being around.
Yeah, it's not.
So
I've got some. I think they're called cigarellos. I got when I was in Canada. So I went to Canada. I came back in. So they're probably from 2009, but they're like filtered mint tips at the end.
Okay,
they're like thin cigars, and I tried a few of them when I was there. And with the mint and stuff, it was like you couldn't really taste it, if that made sense.
Yeah. Is that why people go from Memphis?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's tasted it. It's like the e-cigarette, what they call now vapes and things.
Yeah.
Like, with all different fruits and
marzipan flavoured.
Yeah, which I don't know. I mean, you don't know what the long-term things are that.
Yeah, I always say that. But this isn't meant to be a melodramatic podcast. But yeah, I agree. Like you don't know the long-term health effects. So,
no.
Yeah. But, I was about to say, but we're not scientists. Literally, my job.
Yeah. I think when I was working at Argos, was a scientist. But yeah. So, what else have you been up to?
I have been set myself a challenge of like watching a film a day.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I might watch 2 a day. That sort of like makes up for like when I'm on shifts and stuff like that. But yeah, today I watched the 2011 version of The Three Musketeers.
Oh, okay.
You ever seen it?
No, I still remember the cartoon version I used to watch when I was.
Oh, really?
It was like Albert and the Three Musketeers.
I'd never heard of it.
It was like they had like a theme song to it as well. It was like I think it was a cartoony one actually.
Never heard of that one. But yeah, absolutely awful. But I wrote a like critical review on this app called Letterboxd. If people are on Letterboxd, feel free to follow me. Ellingham27, I believe. But yeah, I've started writing like my mate Mike, who I did a previous podcast with. He texts. I said, right, give me a film to watch tomorrow, and he texted me a list of 4, and that's the one I chose because the other one's Sahara. You can't get on any streaming sites.
See, that's Sahara. Somebody was talking about that the other day about the book of the person that wrote Sahara. He's like an author that I think it was my uncle that was talking about it. He wrote Sahara, and I don't know if it was the same person that wrote the book. They made a film of like raising the Titanic.
Okay,
but they're kind of all interlinked, like a bit like Tom Clancy kind of thing.
I didn't know. I thought Sahara was like a comedy, like Indiana Jones type thing.
I'm just going to Google it, but I'm sure it was a book.
Isn't it? I genuinely.
Is it Matthew
McConaughey and Steve Zahn?
Yeah, I think so. It got quite bad reviews, but I think it's all right.
Have you seen it? I've not seen it.
Yeah. I mean, I've not seen it for a long time. But yeah, I thought I quite liked it. I quite enjoyed it. I actually started randomly watch the film today. Immortal Engines.
Oh yeah.
It just come up on. I mean, I say I've watched it. I've still got a few, maybe 10, 15 minutes left. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
I've got a list of like 2,000 films I want to watch. Like an insane amount.
2,000.
Yeah.
What, the ones that you've not
never seen in my life? So do you want to hear some of the films that I've never seen? Are you ready to be shocked?
Go on then.
Right.
I'm very ready to be shocked.
I started this a bit early because I've not yet actually got the app up.
Okay. I'll pan a few minutes.
I watched The Lost City yesterday. That was good with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
Yeah. I watched that on the plane when I come back.
It's actually just a fun film.
It's nothing. If you you don't take it too serious.
Well, to quote my review of The Three Musketeers earlier, not a masterpiece, but it was never made to be compared to Citizen Kane. I hope.
Citizen Kane's always one that
I've never watched it.
No, I've never watched it, but it's always one that people like sort of go to, isn't it?
So shall I rank these by highest rating?
Okay.
That'll give you an idea. 12 Angry Men. Any of the Godfather films?
Never seen any of the Godfather films. I mean, I've only seen one and maybe two.
Like I said, it's going to get shocking.
Okay.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Schindler's List. The Good, Bad and the Ugly. Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. I've seen that film so many times. That's a brilliant film.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest.
No, I've not seen that one.
What other big ones are there on here? Alien.
I don't know if I've seen it.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Good Will Hunting, I think that's one I've only just watched this year.
But yeah, there's a lot of shocking films on here that I really should have watched, especially some of that movie set claims that they're a oh wow, not that far down, and Mad Max is on here, and I only get the Fury Road. I only gave that a rating of 1.5 stars.
See that?
I found it boring, I'm afraid, guys.
What, Mad Max?
Yeah, Fury Road.
Yeah, with Tom Hardy. They apparently notoriously didn't get on, did they?
Who? Charlize Theron and
Tom Hardy
and Charlize
Theron. Charlize Theron. Yeah, they really didn't. They really didn't get on. Like, they really hate each other. I don't know why, but
see, I'm annoyed that Mad Max came out in 2013, and I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% sure that Fast and Furious 8: Fate of the Furious came out in 2017.
Okay.
And Charlize Theron was cast in Fast and Furious 8.
Yeah.
Why didn't they call it the Fast and the Furiosa?
A very good point there, Mike. I think you should suggest that.
I was listening to another podcast and it's coming up with ideas. Like, this was early doors of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
And it's coming up with ideas for what sequels could be.
Oh, really?
Someone said the Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Fury.
Which will be set in 1945. I was like, oh, that's brilliant.
Dear. I mean, that is... There's too many. I mean, my personal opinion, there's way too many.
I've started watching them. Well, I say I started watching them. I'm now on 9. So I'm way beyond started watching them. I'm always up to date.
But it's the same. Like, it's the same thing in each film. There's some sort of massive car race.
It isn't. I stopped on 7 for so long because that was the one that they filmed after Paul Walker's death.
See, I think I've seen the first one, Tokyo Drift,
the best one,
and then Paul Walker one because of all the hype about it.
I think it was good because of how they managed to make it seem natural.
Yeah,
and I sort of like I cried at the ending because, as we've discussed in the podcast, I'm a massive crier who cries at every film. That would have been the last film I cried at if we was doing that podcast again. Yeah. No, it would have been actually. I cried at the Mona the other day.
Do you cry like if you're watching Coronation Street or something?
What was that? I was watching that and I was like, I was definitely tired. There was something. It's in one of my reviews. I started crying at the end, but I think it was definitely...
Why are you reviewing
no, it was the latest... It was Fate of the Furious. I started crying at the end because Dom introduced... Vin Diesel's character introduced his son to his wife.
Okay.
That he didn't know he had.
Yeah.
That's a big plot point. They introduced him and I started crying at that.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say that you started crying while you were reviewing the film. Have you ever done that? Thought about.
Scrubs will do that for me.
What, you'll start
with
thinking?
Ben's there.
Lauren, talking of Scrubs and Brendan Fraser as Ben, actually watched The Whale yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
She said it was really good. Yeah, she should say it was
very good things about it.
Yeah.
What is?
Actually, no, I'm not going to say anything.
Well, anyway, what I was saying about the Fast and Furious, I started watching 9 the other day before I decided to go into the garden and finish off the lawnmower and stuff. And I had to stop it because I'll read you the text that I sent to my friends. Again, I haven't got this prepared, so where are we? It's called Fuck It, Another Group.
That's what your group's called?
Yeah. So I text them literally saying this. Okay, I know that the Fast and Furious franchise isn't to be taken serious, and it's a little ridiculous. And I've seen the trailers, I know they're going to space. But the opening car chase sequence in F9, after they find Mr. Nobody's crash plane, just for some context for people who've seen the film, is absolutely insane. That is stupid. I forgave the driving over landmines if they're going fast enough. They literally, as long as they were going 80, they could avoid being blown up by landmines, was their reasoning. I forgave that. I forgave how Roman avoided death constantly. He literally was about to land on a landmine, fell to the floor and just missed it, and then a truck landed just in front of him. Just kept on avoiding death. How they drove up a broken bridge. There was literally a bridge that the end was cut off, and it was classic scenes like a bridge going down, like Indiana Jones, and they're having to sort of grab hold of it. Yeah. Instead, they was driving up it while it was going down. Yeah. Gosh. I forgave even that. But then Dom, Vin Diesel's character, using his car to swing across the gap to the broken bridge. He literally, one of the wires that
swings his car?
One of the wires that remained from the bridge, despite the whole bridge being gone, he literally snapped his car around and braked, and it gripped onto the wire cable, and he literally swung across this chasm onto the other side using the why? And I was
and
like,
I assume the car drove perfectly off after it.
probably. I genuinely stopped because I was like, I don't know if I can watch anymore. So I don't know if I'm past the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
Because that just got. But my friend texts back saying that's why I'm so keen to see 10 because I don't know how they're going to go any further.
See, thing is though, some films are like they have a good idea for a film and then they just absolutely hammer it. Like Transformers, for another example.
Yeah, I can't stand.
Like Shia LaBeouf ones, all three fine. I don't mind. I think it's the first one after with Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, it's all right. But then it just starts getting thingy, and like now there's.
See, I've only ever seen 1, 2, and the last one.
Oh,
the last one where they go to Anthony Hopkins, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's the whole thing with Excalibur. And,
yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah. I mean, that was not the great one. I've seen it, but
you know, it's good. I've only ever seen the intro to it. But Bumblebee. The intro to Bumblebee I felt was fantastic. I don't care about the rest of the film because I've not seen it. But I thought it was so good, just them on whatever their planet's called. I can't remember now.
Megatron's the other one.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's really going to bug me.
I've just actually opened up my last thing that I was going to say. Now I'm searching something up. Transformers Home Planet. Cybertron.
That's
Cybertron. I actually got that just before it ended as well. But just going back to what I was saying before about the Sahara.
Oh, yes.
So he plays...
we moved on very quickly.
Yeah, I know. I was having internet trouble, that's why I couldn't say it sooner, so I was glad we sort of deterred off. Matthew McConaughey plays a character called Dirk Pitt, who...
What a shit name.
I know.
Is it a real name? Is it based on someone?
No.
That's terrible, right?
It's like Jack Ryan. From like Tom Clancy and things. So he's in
Dirk Pitt is the worst names I've ever heard in my life.
Dirk Pitt. Like he's got his own Wikipedia page. First appearance at the Mediterranean Caper. These are all the films. Dirk Eric Pitt.
Has he been what? There's more than just a Sahara film.
Yeah, he's been loads of stuff.
What films?
Films. So novels and films. I mean, so Raise the Titanic. So there was somebody in that. Deep Six, Inca Gold. I'm trying to think of most recent films. Celtic Empire.
Never heard of any of these.
Written with the son of Dirk Kussler. Clive Kussler is the one that's written all these. He's created the character of Dirk Pitt. Odyssey Sea, Havana Storm, Crescent Dawn. I mean, these could be novels. This is novels and films. And then you've got Sahara. I mean, these are novels because Sahara here, the novel came out in 1992. The film was like early 2000s, wasn't it? So, have you ever seen Raise the Titanic?
No.
It's an old one. It's like 1970s, and well, it's what it's about. They raise the Titanic, but in this one, the Titanic's not split in two; it's all together.
Oh, okay. So
it's they raise it all up, and then there's some issue with the Russians because it's obviously filmed in the 1970s, 80s, so the Russians are the bad guys in it.
Of course.
There's something with the Russians on there, and then they end up sailing it back into New York to complete its sort of final journey. But it's for some reason it's all together. I don't know how they come across explaining that, but so I actually want to get a White Star liner.
Is there anything you don't want in this pub?
I know I'm going to surely run out of room soon.
Yeah,
I might have to build another extension to put the stuff that I want in it. I've got an Amazon wish list at the minute of all these different things that I want in there, like a beer sign and like a Heineken bottle. It's like a big Heineken bottle top. Actually, I have something I was going to mention to you. Any bottle tops, we keep them for beer. Yeah. So I'm going to stick them around here. I mean, any of the viewers, I would say viewers, listeners, if you want to keep some bottle tops and send them in.
Charlie's address is.
I'm planning to stick them somewhere. So, and it's annoying because a couple of weeks ago, in fact,
some listeners do send in international ones. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be.
I don't know how they'd get in contact to do that, but
no, and how much it would cost for postage, and it'd probably take about 3 years to get here. I'd been saving some up for about a few years for my mate who was going to make like a resin, we see the bar tops, and then I would clean out the kitchen when we had our new kitchen, and I said to him, I was like, "Do you still want these?" He's like, "Oh no, it's fine, just get rid of them." And I was like, "Oh no, I might keep them." I was like, "Oh no, fuck it, I'll just chuck them." And obviously now I could really do it. So at the minute I've got 4 Ashwari beer ones and 1 San Miguel.
Just think, if you're collecting it yourself, you tend to stick to the same beers.
Yeah. But me and my dad were at the local earlier, and my dad went up to the barman and said, "Oh, like, what do you do with your bottle tops?" Because my son's got a pub shed, and he says, "Yeah, got a glass." He says, "Right, we'll start collecting them for you."
Nice.
But my mate, who was initially saying for. He's got loads, and he said, yeah, he says, I've been saying I'm going to do it for years, and I've not got around to it. So
yeah, I remember when I worked in spoons, we just chucked them in the bin. So yeah,
yeah.
They'd be easy to get hold of. Even if
I mean, I don't want like loads of. I want quite a few individual ones, but I'm sort of plotting it around here, so it wouldn't matter if there was like 5 or 6 different ones than the same one again. Like, I'm not that precious about it. But yeah, so yeah.
Nice.
So I think that wraps quite nicely. We've chatted the shit. We have literally chatted a lot of shit.
Yeah.
From your penis story to bottle tops to sexual and used to touching wood.
Yeah.
We've come a full circle.
We have. No, we haven't. We haven't come full circle in the slightest.
Full circle. But
Charlie, stop masturbating. There we go.
There we go. But no, thank you for listening as always.
And join us next week for our birthday special. We're 1 year old, guys.
We are 1 year. When are we 1 year old?
Right, next week.
Next week. Okay.
I can tell you the exact date.
Mike, it's December 2019. When's next week?
Let's have a look. When did we record our
first episode?
I feel like let's leave it.
Yeah,
tune in next week. And
you'll
find out
when Mike's phone's working. Right. See you later.
See you later, guys.
Bye bye.